Hi, Karen Curry Parker here with your weekly Human Design Evolution Report. This is the week we've all been waiting for years now, and I'm excited to share with you that there is a ton going on. In fact, there is so much going on this week that I'm going to be giving some special Human Design Evolution reports throughout the week to kind of keep you in the flow and abreast of the changes that are going on in the celestial weather. We have a big shift on Wednesday with a new moon and Uranus moving into Taurus for the next 7 years, which will be part of the special report that I will do on Wednesday for you. This week I want to talk about, or today I want to talk about the cycles for the week within the more mundane aspects of the celestial weather. It's really quite beautiful to remember that we have cycles within cycles when we look at celestial weather. And when we look at celestial weather, we have to first explore what is the outline or the template for the overarching cycle that we are in. We have been, let's start first from where we've been so we can talk about where we're going. We have been, up until the last couple of weeks, in a large celestial cycle that has been all about redefining the story of who we think we are. Telling a new story, hopefully, a more empowered, more aligned story, so that you can begin the process of taking your life in a direction that is more in alignment with the truth of who you are, that brings you the potential for greater fulfillment and, most importantly, greater expression from that depth of the depth of that well of who you genuinely seek to express in this incarnation. In other words, hopefully you've crafted a story for yourself that cuts out all the stuff that's been holding you back from stepping into the full expression of the magnificence of the truth of who you really are. We have moved into a new cycle that sets us up for both some short-term bursts and expansions and also some longer-term giant evolutionary transformations that are going to impact us not just personally but also collectively. The way in which we live as human beings on the planet is changing. Our values are subject to being grossly reevaluated, grossly realigned in a good way. Don't panic. This is all really, really good. It's just really transformational. This cycle that we're in right now is about deepening our faith, deepening our awareness of our unique and individual role in the cosmic plan and how we can align ourselves in the most practical way possible with the true story of who we are. In other words, we're looking at how can we, in our day-to-day life, live as spiritual beings having a human journey or a human experience. We're wanting to know, what does that really look like? What does that look like in our relationships, in our health, in our businesses, in our lives? It's a beautiful, beautiful new outline for the life that we're living right now, for the process of growth that we're engaging in. And it promises to give us, I believe, a greater capacity to live from our hearts, to get out of our heads, to get out of being so attached to the material world that we use that material world as the only gauge of our value. And we instead deepen the expression of who we are in the fabric of the cosmic plan, and we take a deep sense of meaning and even joy from our awareness of the role that we play, that irreplaceable and vital role that each and every one of us plays in the cosmic plan. And we begin to look at how can we serve the plan better rather than how can I make my life better? We move from a me perspective to a certain degree to a we perspective that is heart-based, that allows us to serve at our highest level in a brand new and delicious, I think, very fulfilled kind of a way. Now, that's the big story. That's the big overarching thing that we're heading towards. As I said, on Wednesday, I'm going to talk to you more about what does that actually mean and what might that look like, especially in the next 7 years with this big Uranus into Taurus shift that we're seeing. But in the meantime, we got to deal with this week, all right? So this week, Sun is transiting in the gate 63, Earth transiting in the gate 64. These are two gates that are in the head center in human design, and they are two gates that make us predisposed to questioning. Now, the questions that we sometimes ask when these energies flow are oftentimes pointed at ourselves, and oftentimes they manifest as self-doubt. And so I definitely want to just sort of throw a red flag on the play for you this week that you might find that you begin to experience doubt or self-doubt or suspicion, or you feel doubtful of what you are seeing or witnessing. Now, the high expression of that energy, both of these energies, is really not so much about doubt as it is two things. Number one, it's about opening up the mind to what else is possible, to allowing ourselves through the process of our musings, our imaginations, our questions, to expand what else is possible for our own individual journeys and for our human experience on the planet. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I teach prayer, the mechanics of prayer, praying. And praying is really just the way we tap into quantum potentials out of the quantum field. We pray through questioning. We are not designed to have the answers. That's hopefully a relief for some of you. You don't have to have the answers. There is an unmanifest quantum field of infinite potentials that contains every answer to every question and beyond that you might ever have in your life. You can bring those answers into your reality through asking. The material world is the interface, the interplay between our musings, our questionings, our wonderings, and the answers that are the quantum field or source or love or God or whatever you want to call it is bringing into our lives. In other words, if you have a question about something you want in your life, if you have a desire, an intention, a goal, if you frame it in the form of a question, what would happen if? What would it look like if? What do I need to do to? How can I? If you phrase it in the form of a question, that question actually seeds the quantum field. That seeding of the quantum field then causes you to attract into your experience or to collapse a quantum potential that contains the answer, and that answer shows up in your physical world. We might get that answer as a sign. Sometimes it's a miracle. Sometimes it's an unexpected, serendipitous, synchronicitous thing that, drifts across your computer screen, or it's that email that seemingly comes out of the blue that gives you the answer you're looking for. None of this is magic, people. This is simply the way in which we are designed, hardwired to interface with the divine. We are designed to question. So certainly I would say for you, explore for yourself. Are you stuck in self-doubt? Is there something about yourself that you're questioning? Do you need to heal that? Do you need to release that this week? And also explore this week what you might be dreaming of in terms of possibilities and expansion. And thirdly, use the power of questions this week to pray, to quest, to query, to engage and dance with Source in such a way that you can then, once you ask your questions, sit back and wait in a state of positive, enthusiastic expectancy for the answer to reveal itself to you through your physical realm, through your contact with this life you're in, this matrix that you're swimming in, that is the potential, the collapse potential of the real story of who you are. So that's the big piece for this week. That's really the big piece, and it sets us up to move on Friday into the 22, the gate of grace in the sun, the 47 in the earth, challenging us to adopt mindsets, to stay in that inquisitive, imaginative state of wonder and awe that is the true source of our creative power. And when we stay in that state of wonder and awe, we then learn and we allow ourselves to surrender with grace. That's that letting go once you ask the question part. To surrendering with grace and operating and creating in the world with the expectancy, the trust that when you are asking the question and letting go and trusting that the answer will reveal itself to you, when you are asking questions that serve to elevate the full expression of who you are in the truth of who you are, meaning when you're asking questions that help you express all of who you are in the highest potential possible, so that the expression of who you are is the service, the purpose of your life, the service you give the world, that when you stay in that space with your wonderings and your musings, then grace is the answer, meaning you'll be given everything you need, whether it's a lesson, an opportunity, resources, connections. You will be given everything you need to fulfill yourself, your unique role in the cosmos, and for you to be of the greatest service to the world. It's really kind of cool. It's pretty sweet. It just requires, though, that we ask the right kinds of questions. Like, don't ask, what's wrong with me? Don't ask that question. Instead, ask, what's possible? What else is possible? What can I create? What do I need to do? What would happen if? This is an opportunity this week for you to really get curious about what is out there, what packages of, what presents, what delightful gifts are hovering out there in the ethers, just waiting for you to ask the right question to pull them into your experience so you can open them and again engage with a state of wonder and awe at the magic of the universe. All right, that's it for it. Kind of it. That's the little it for this week. The big it comes on Wednesday when we have new moon, Uranus moving into Taurus. Lots of good stuff coming up. But for now, for the next couple of days, I really want you to explore. What questions do you have? What questions can you ask that would support you in discovering ways in which you can expand the expression of who you are in the world? That's it. Have a great week. I'll talk to you on Wednesday. Bye.